Hey guys, so it's the end of May and June is tomorrow, so it's time to do my May wrap up and June TBR. So in May I read 10 books and 2 novellas, and I almost finished another one, so let's just get started with the books. The first book I finished this month was The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. As many of you know, I feel like I read this the whole month of April, and it just took me a long time to get into. And I found it really hard to rate this because it is true. So I did give it 2 out of 5 stars. Sorry. Then I read an ebook from the library that I got, which obviously I don't have a copy of, so I'll insert a picture. But it was Every You, Every Me by David Levithan, and I really enjoyed this book. It was the first book I read where parts of the story were like crossed out. It was interesting. It was hard to get used to at first. I was like, do I read it? Do I not read it? But I read it. So it was very good. I will probably do a review on it because I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. So I will probably be doing a review on my blog. But it was about a guy. It was interesting because there were pictures in it, because that's kind of how it was. He would find pictures that only he and his best girlfriend would know about, and then he had no idea where they were coming from, so he started talking to her boyfriend, and then the whole time they talk about her like in a past, so you're like, did she die? What happened to her? But you find out like at the end what happened. But the whole time you're like questioning what happened, which makes you want to keep reading, I guess. So it was really good. It didn't take me that long to read, and I really enjoyed it. So then I read a book that was sent me by Penguin Canada, and I was very, very excited. So I read Creeps by Darren Hines. I hope that's how you say it. I'm not sure. But yes, this is an art copy. It comes out July 30th, 2013. On the back it says August, but I think when I looked on Goodreads it said July 30th. So around there. I really, really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I don't know if I said this, but I did do a review of it on my blog, which I always link down in the description, so you should go check it out. And it's, I don't know how much to say, but it's like it says on the cover, no, on the back. It's like The Perks of Being a Wallflower, which I found, and I didn't like The Perks of Being a Wallflower, so I enjoyed this one more. And it's about like a 15-year-old who just gets like picked on and stuff, and he meets like this girl, and like, yeah, just go read the review or Goodreads this. Yeah, it was really good. I totally recommend it when it gets released. Then I read another review book, which I will be doing a review on for my blog, and a video review, and I will be doing a video review of Creeps too. So I read Teacher's Pest, which is the 3rd book in the Tales of Lovecraft Middle School series by Charles Gilman, and I just love that. These books are so much fun to play with. This book was good, but I thought The Slither Sisters was better. It was interesting. They're really cool. I really like them. So I give this one 3 out of 5 stars. And I like the big font. I like middle grade books now. I'm going to have to start reading more. The pictures are still creepy as usual. I'm trying to find some other ones that wouldn't give anything away. So obviously this one's about bugs, in case you didn't realize. And that won't really give anything away. So the pictures are really well done, and they really help the story, help you envision it, especially when it's like about monsters and stuff. So it helps you see what the author was seeing when he wrote it, I guess, if that makes sense. So it was good, and review to come on that one, but 3 out of 5 stars. Then I read one of my new favorite books, and that was The Duff by Cody Keplinger. I'd been meaning to read this book for so long, and then I finally just picked it up, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to read it, and it was so good. I read it fast. there will be a review on my blog about this one too, because I loved it so much, and obviously I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. So if you don't know what this is about, the DUF stands for the Designated Ugly Fat Friend, and it is about a 17-year-old girl named Bianca, and I guess I automatically had a connection because I'm 17 for now. And it's just a good contemporary read because I didn't know anything about it going into it, which I think helped because I didn't know what to expect. Like, I didn't know what the storyline was, I guess. So yeah, I won't talk too much about this one because there will be a review on it. So after that, I read 2 novellas. I read Glitches and The Queen's Army, which are both from the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. Glitches comes before Cinder, and The Queen's Army comes between Cinder and Scarlet. Yeah. I thought they were both pretty good. They helped add to the story. I think I enjoyed the first one more than the second one. I don't know if it's because I haven't read Scarlet yet, and then I would have to read it to understand exactly what was happening in the second one. I'm not sure. So I gave Glitches 4 out of 5 stars, and The Queen's Army 3 out of 5 stars. And these are all free novellas, but people keep saying they can't find it, so I will link in the description the website I read it from. Then I read Everybody Sees the Ants by A.S. King, and it took me so long to read this, like a long time. That's why I kind of read the novellas in between while I was reading this. It might have taken me like a week to read this. It was a long time, even though it's a short book. I don't know why. I guess I didn't connect to it and I just didn't follow along. It got better towards the end, I think, but it was really confusing because he goes like back and forth. Like in his dreams, he can see his grandfather, and then when he wakes up, he has things from the dream. Like, it didn't make sense to me because I thought it was supposed to be like kind of like a contemporary, not like paranormal. Not like paranormal, but like, you know what I mean. Because that doesn't happen in real life. So I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. And then the next 4 books I read were library books because I wasn't sure if I wanted to buy these books, so I've started going to the library now that I'm trying to save my money. So I read The List by Siobhan Vivian. Sorry if I'm not saying that right. This was pretty good. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and it's about 8 different girls that all go to the same high school, and the school has a tradition of naming the prettiest girl and the ugliest girl in every grade, so like freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior, and it causes a lot of things in the school, and you learn different things about people and how it affects them with the life they're living and stuff, so it was pretty interesting. I sped through it pretty fast, so it was good. Then I read a trilogy that I actually ended up enjoying more than I thought I would. So I read the Dreamcatcher trilogy, and this is the first book, Wake, by Alyssa McMahon. And they're really short books. I read, I think, all 3 of them in 2 days, according to my Goodreads. And they were just really good. It's hard to, I can tell you what this one's about, but I won't be able to tell you what the other ones are about in case you haven't read them. But this is about a girl named, I think it's pronounced Janie. Yeah, that's what the voice in my head kept calling her. So she can go into other people's dreams, but not by choice. She doesn't like it. If somebody falls asleep, she gets sucked into it, and it causes her to be tired a lot, and it's just not good for her health, I guess. She doesn't know where it came from. All she can know is that she's remembered doing that for as long as she can, or as long as she can remember, and she knows she's not going to be able to like get married or like be with anybody because of the dreams. So as always, there is a guy, but she's met him before, but I guess when you're going back to school on the first day, she notices like a change in him, and he falls asleep. So she goes into one of his dreams, and it's one of the scariest dreams she's seen. So she wants to know about it and where it came from. She's afraid of it though, so she tries to avoid it, but she keeps getting into it a few times. And yeah, for a while she doesn't know it's his dream, but then, you know, the contemporary romance part of it kicks in. And I was a big fan of Cabe. Sometimes he pissed me off, but sometimes I was like, oh, like, he's probably one of my favorite love interests that I've read so far. You should definitely read this series. I recommend it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars if I didn't say that. And I will be doing a full trilogy review on my blog this month. Then I also read the second book, obviously, but I don't have it right now because my mom's reading it, but that's what the cover looks like. I'm a big fan of these covers. So I read Fade, which is the second book, and I can't really tell you much of what it's about because it'll give away everything in the first book if you haven't read it. But it was really, really good, and I give it 5 out of 5 stars. And then I obviously finished the series and read Gone. People kept saying they didn't like this one. I thought it was okay. At first I was bored with it, and I was like, can we see more of Gabe? But it was kind of like Mockingjay in the way she had to make a decision and stuff. And it's just, I give this 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this series overall. Yeah, I'm sad it's over, but it's probably one of my favorite series. Trilogies. Whatever. So then the book I'm currently reading, almost finished with, is Tricks by Ellen Hopkins. I have like 120 pages left. I'm so close to the end. At first I wasn't sure how much I would like this, but now as it's getting near the end, it's kind of getting better. Yeah, so I'm hoping to finish this tonight because this one is also written in verse, so that means it's very easy to, or quick to get through. So yeah, I'm enjoying it now, but I wasn't so much in the beginning. So my TBR for this month. For many high school students, school is either over or ending, and my last day is I think the 16th. I think that's when I write my exam. So until then, I probably won't be doing much reading, but then I'll have 15 days after that to just read a lot. So I'm trying to pick books I think I'll know I'll read, but as usual, I didn't read much for my TBR last month, so it's getting pushed again into this month because I'm determined to read them. So first, because this is important, I will be reading Tempest by Julie Cross, but I'll be reading this throughout the month because I'm reading this with a bunch of booktubers. Alyssa from AC Reads, Ke-sha from The Forsaken 707, and Phil from P-Book Buddy. So I've made marks of where I have to read to, but obviously I'm not doing very well. I don't think any of us are. But yeah. So in the description I will leave the marks or points that we're reading to, and so feel free to read along with us. Or if you also want to know like our progress and what we're thinking about it, I will link all of our Twitters down in the description because we'll be talking about it there. Then we get on to the books that I did not read last month, so I'm not going to talk about them too much because I don't want this video to be really long because it feels like it's long. So Famous by Todd Strasser, Scarlet by Marissa Meyer, as many of you know, is the sequel to Cinder. Heist Society by Allie Carter, which is the first book in a trilogy. Skinny Dipping by Bethany Frankel, which is an adult book, and I don't really know what it's about still. And I also would like to read The Archived by Victoria Schwab. And if I read all those and I still have time because school will be over, then I will be very excited and I'll just pick books from my shelf. Or if I go back to the library, I'll read books from there. So yeah, that is my wrap up in TBR for May and June. I hope you guys had a good reading month in May and a great reading month in June. If you are going to be reading along with us with Tempest, then feel free to let me know. That'd be so cool. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.